We're here with the associate head coach for San Jose State women's basketball, Ryan Cooper. And coach, it was a tough loss for the Spartans in the home opener against Santa Clara. The team only shot 31% from the field. Some of the looks were open looks. They were close layups and open jumpers, and the shots just weren't falling. So is the remedy for that simply more time in the gym, more shots being put up on non-game days? Is it that simple?
Yeah, I think it was you that gave me the stat. We hadn't played in the event center in over 600 days, maybe it was, or something like that. So number one, it was great to see people back in the stands in the event center the other night. I still think it's a little bit of a rust thing. You know, we hadn't played all last year, so you're limited in seeing live contact, you know, against somebody else, and we're only a couple games into the season. So you know, I do think it comes with reps. Game reps, you know, you can't simulate game reps in practice. You do the best you can. You play hard. You put them in situations, you know, to feel what it might be like in a game. But again, it's going against somebody else. And so I just think it comes with repetition, and we'll start to see those shots fall. But, you know, we've got a group that likes to work. They come in outside of practice time slots. And so we're confident that those shots are going to drop for us.
Now, a bright spot for the Spartans, I thought, was the defense. Santa Clara had previously averaged 82 points per game coming into Wednesday night, and the Spartans held them to 67 points. They also forced 17 turnovers, got 17 points off those 17 turnovers. So how impressed was the coaching staff with the defense? How impressed are you guys with the defense and the active hands?
It's let me tell you, it's a work in progress. You know, it's game by game. We're seeing things, you know, Washington State to Eastern Washington, just a little bit better, right? We did some things that we improved upon after we watched the film. We made some adjustments. And then when we go from, you know, Eastern to Sacramento State, we had some adjustments that we made for that game, and we got a little bit better, whether it's man or zone or whatever we were trying to attempt to adjust or get a new look in. For that next game, we've done better game to game, so that's a positive. You like to see that. You never want to be going backwards, especially defensively. So you're right. I mean, we did a better job. We protected the paint against Santa Clara, which is something that we haven't, you know, been even or close to winning that battle paint-wise, points in the paint in any game up to Santa Clara. So that's where we did really well. I thought our transition defense was much improved, especially man-to-man. We did a nice job picking up the ball. We did a better job of staying in front of the basketball, you know, against Santa Clara. So definitely some positives, still a work in progress, though.
Another bright spot I thought for the Spartans was the play of Sydney Lewis and Atiana Galden. Lewis has been with the Spartan program for a while. She had a career high 24 points, and she continued to play well. She's played well early on in the season. And the other player I mentioned, Atiana Galden, a newcomer for the Spartans, she has played well early in the season, and she had 15 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Those two appear to be the standout performers thus far this season. But do the Spartans need that third option maybe to really get over the hump and get the offense to where you guys want it to be? And then in terms of Atiana Galden, how important was her addition to the roster? A lot of people would consider her a Power 5 talent because she started in the SEC for her collegiate career.
I mean, she's ultra talented. I mean, she has a really good offensive skill set. She's a lightning bolt of offense for us off the bench. She's showing that she can come in and change the course of a game, put a lot of pressure on your defense, you know, coming off the bench. And she's tough to prepare for because she puts you in situations where she's really dynamic in ball screens. She can make a standstill three, and she's got a high IQ. She's a willing passer. She puts a lot of pressure on the paint, but she's also, you know, she doesn't force. So if you are going to, you know, defend and help off, she's a willing passer. She's going to find the open shooter. So she's a handful, and we're glad to have her because she really does change the pace and the look of our offense when she's in the game. In terms of Sid, I'm just super happy for Sid. I mean, she, like you said, she's been here. She knows Coach Craighead. She knows the system. She knows the culture, and all the hard work's paying off. I mean, she's also another very talented, high IQ basketball player that's put in the work. And, you know, our players believe in her. I think you can see that if you've seen us play. They trust her. She's a leader for us. She's a focal point for us on both sides of the floor. And, right now we're giving her the ball in spots where she's successful, and she's attacking, and she's full of confidence, and that's really good for us. And, in terms of both of them, I still think there's a lot of room for them to grow together when they're on the floor. They do play well together, but I still think we haven't seen the best basketball out of both of them. And so that votes well for us down the road. In terms of the third score, I think you just look back and you see, Deja Ross has had an 18-point game this season. Ella's put up 20 in a game too. We know Ellie can get hot and shoot threes and make plays at the rim and in the mid-range. And she had a nice second half against Sacramento State. So we have enough firepower and talent on the floor. We would like to see 3, 4, 5 of them all playing really well on the same night. That'd be great for us. But we know we have that extra third option on our roster.
Next up for San Jose State, it's another West Coast Conference opponent, the Pacific Tigers. Their leading scorers are actually some youngsters, freshman Anaya James and Elizabeth Elliott, and then you've got the sophomore Cecilia Holmberg. How do you slow them down? And then in turn, how does that translate into jumpstarting the offense? Could the defense of the Spartans, as it improves, perhaps be a catalyst for the other end for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, if you've watched us play, you see how we switch our defense. We like to keep people off balance as much as possible, possession by possession. And for us going into Pacific tomorrow, it's, we got to get back. They're going to push the tempo offensively, miss shots. They're going to outlet it and get up the floor really quick on the wings with their guards. They're going to put pressure on us at the rim off the dribble. So number one, we got to get back in transition and pick up the ball and protect the rim. Number two, we got to really protect the blocks. They throw the ball inside after that initial break. If they don't have anything, a focal point of what they want to do offensively is dump it inside. And they've got 2, 6'3" posts that are big and demand space. And so, for us, we've worked on that this week and we're prepared for that. Obviously holding them to one shot and rebounding the basketball is going to be key, so that we can, defend our paint and not have to stay. We can, like you said, take a stop and transition it to offense. But, taking care of the glass and winning the rebounding battle is going to be big against Pacific.
We're here with Associate Head Coach Ryan Cooper for the San Jose State women's basketball program. Coach, we'll let you go on this last set of questions. The Spartans seem to struggle in the fourth quarter this season. The lead was lost against Sacramento State on the road, and then against Santa Clara, you guys entered the fourth quarter tied with Santa Clara, but only shot 16% going home. You only made 3 field goals in that fourth quarter. And then in the first quarter of the last game against Santa Clara, the Spartans got off to a slow start, only made 3 shots from the field in that opening quarter. So how do you improve the bookends of the game? How do you close more effectively? And then how do you ensure that the slow start doesn't happen again against Pacific tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, and I think obviously we want to get off to a good start, and I think it goes back to just being efficient. It's early in our season. We have a new roster completely turned over, basically, 10 newcomers, and they're coming from places and former programs where maybe they weren't put in situations like that, late to close a game. So again, we go back to the reps, the live reps, being put in environments like that and situations like that. You can't simulate that in practice. We know that they can make shots. We see it every single day here at home in practice. So we're staying confident as a group. We're working on our offense. We're working on being more efficient. But at the end of the day, it's a make-miss game. And when it comes down to it, when that ball gets swung to you, you got to step up and knock it down. And we have all the confidence in the world that we're going to do that moving forward.
Associate Head Coach Ryan Cooper, we thank you for your time. Spartan fans, San Jose State, they take the court again tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. on Saturday, November 20th against the Pacific Tigers. Associate Head Coach Ryan Cooper, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow afternoon, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate the time.